Hey everyone, Christopher Ruocchio here of Sun Eater, back with another monthly update video for you. This for July of 2024. And in case you missed my previous video, the big news here in Sun Eater land is that books 6 and 7, Disquiet Gods and Shadows Upon Time, have returned home to DAW Books. That's right, the entire series is going to be made available from one publisher in one format. The series will match consistently all the way through in hardcover, in paperback, in ebook. They will all be the same. You'll be able to get a matching set, and you won't have to go to a special edition to do it. DAW purchased those last two books back from Bane Books, as well as the rights to my next book, whatever that next book may be. So do, keep your eyes peeled for news on that when it eventually happens. So that's the big news. That's the big news. But how is writing going? What am I working on? Well, as those of you who watched my previous update will know, I took the month of June to work on a bunch of other little things. I wrote 5 different book intros for the different special editions of the Sun Eater books. I wrote 3 for the Broken Binding because they're doing the first 3 books all at once. I wrote the special edition intro for Andorita Books, Empire of Silence, and for the Diamond edition of Howling Dark, as well as, again, all 3 of those Broken Bindings. And I also wrote 2 novellas, a Polino point of view novella that's going in the Empire of Silence edition from Andorita Books, and a Genon point of view novelette, not novella, novelette, Polino novelette, and a Genon novelette. The Genon one is going in the Howling Dark Diamond edition. In addition to which, I also wrote 2 other stories. More on those in just a bit. But I did a lot of special edition work. We got a lot of the art briefs taken care of. Happy to report that actually all of my work with Andorita Books for the year is done. I've turned in all the art briefs for that. I've turned in all the new material, all the new stories, all the book intros, everything. It's all taken care of. It's all sorted. And so there won't be anything for me to do except to provide art notes to Kira Deanner, just sort of work through drafts and stuff for the rest of the year, all done there. And I'm also happy to report that my work with the Broken Binding is also nearly complete for the year, at least for this first 3 set of books. We may start some of the art for books 4, 5, and 6 a little bit later. As it stands, we're just waiting on Renee Eigner to deliver one more cover. He's doing the cover for Demon in White. He's already done Empire of Silence and Howling Dark, and they are so cool. Can't wait to share those all with you. But as soon as Renee delivers that last cover, all of the artwork, the new artwork, and the new material for the Broken Binding editions of books 1, 2, and 3 will be complete. So I've been doing all that stuff, which means that I have not progressed work on Shadows Upon Time at all in the last month. I've been doing all sorts of other things, getting them all out of the way, because I found that it was getting very hard to focus on book 7 and to really pay attention to it in the way that I needed to with my to-do list pinned on the wall over here glaring at me. I have put a lot of check marks on that list now. I'm feeling a lot better. And so I plan to get back to Shadows Upon Time this week, just taking a day or 2 here to take care of some housekeeping and to get things in order, not least of which is this video. So you can blame a slight delay on getting back to book 7 on the fact that I'm here now. Have that on your conscience. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so I plan to get back to book 7 this week. I've done a lot of little stuff in the meantime. Got all those special editions sort of squared. The only thing that really remains undone is my reread and revision cycle on Howling Dark, because I'm going to be listening through Howling Dark on the audiobook and sort of making adjustments, looking for things like typos and continuity errors that are in the text, and really just sort of improving sentences that I think sound bad, just like I did with Empire of Silence, because the Diamond editions and the Andorita Books editions will have slightly revised text. So I'll be doing that alongside my work on book 7 here in the month of July. In addition to which, I may have one more short story crop up. We'll see what happens. More on that if it happens. I did mention that there are a couple other short stories that I wrote. One of them is going to be for Tales of the Sun Eater Volume 4, because that is in development. It won't come out until a lot later this year, but it is all written. It is all edited. It is currently it is all compiled, I suppose I should say. It's currently in the hands of the copy editor, and once I get that back from him, it will be ready to go to be typeset, to be turned into an ebook. So Tales of Sun Eater Volume 4 is complete. It is 5 stories. It is The Royal Game. It is The Fangs of Awanos. It's got The Guns of Pharos, which is originally in the Diamond edition of Empire of Silence. It has a story called The Prince of Man, which is going to be in the back of The Murdered Son from Andorita Books. And it has a new story, the one I just wrote, called The Cosmist. It's still, despite the fact that it's the fewest stories, the longest Tales of the Sun Eater collection of the set, because some of these are novelettes. They're quite long. Fangs of Awanos is like 17,000 words. It's one of the longest It's half as long as Queen of Mid-Ashes by itself. And so the stories have been creeping up in length because I've been doing these longer format stories. And so that will be reflected in future volumes of Tales of Sunny going forward. In the art department, James Cook and I have been working on the covers, not just for Tales 4, but for Tales of the Sun Eater Volume 2, because we redid the cover for Tales 1 earlier in the year and updated the file, cleaned up some typos and things like that. We're doing the same for Tales of the Sun Eater 2, and James is currently working on the cover for that. That should be not just in my hands, but in yours by the end of the month. I should have thumbnails for the Tales of Sun Eater 2 cover by the time you see this video, and if I don't, it'll be like another day or so, which means I should see a finished cover as early as next week. And then after that, all there really is for us to do is typeset the cover and deliver that to the ebook typesetter, who could turn that around in as little as a day. And so as soon as that's up, that'll be a free update, just like Tales of the Sun Eater 1. If you already own the book, all you'll have to do is re-download the file and update your metadata, and everything should be just fine. Very excited to have more art to show you here soon. Tales 2 will still feature Valka. It'll just be in the style of the new Tales covers from James. James is, of course, also working on the Diamond Edition Howling Dark. I have that cover, and it is so cool. I can't wait to show everybody. As soon as Empire of Silence finally makes it out to everybody who's backed it, I will be revealing cover book 2. That should go on sale later this year for previous backers, and only previous backers, at first, at least, assuming, because if you ordered Empire of Silence Diamond Edition from the Kickstarter, you have first dibs on Howling Dark. That's just the way it's going to be. But that'll be up later this summer. Hopefully, the reprint of Empire of Silence is happening right now. The paper should be arriving at the factory as early as, I think, July 5. And as soon as it hits, they're going to start reprinting those books. They should be here in my hands in early August, and they will be going out immediately. We're not wasting any more time. This book is so late, and I am so sorry about that. But the good news is that when they ordered the paper for Empire of Silence, they ordered enough for Howling Dark and for Demon in White as well. So there won't be any production manufacturing delays where the paper is concerned with the next 2 volumes of the Diamond Editions. At least we are well ahead, and that paper is earmarked for me, which means that Brandon Sanderson won't steal it. So, I'm kidding, but that is what happened. That there was a huge production slowdown because we're using the same paper in the same factory. That won't happen again because I've already got my paper. So that's where we are with the special editions and all of that. John Barry Ballaran is, of course, also working on the interiors for the Diamond Edition of Howling Dark. He's done 2 already. He's working on 2 more. I've got sketches. There will be 12 black and whites in the Diamond Edition of Howling Dark. That's up from 11 in Empire of Silence. Figured it was a longer book. We'd add at least 1 more piece. And those are plugging along. Assuming all the art gets in for Howling Dark by around October, we should be able to get it to press by the end of the year, which means probably January, February, those books will be going out. So we'll be able to turn Howling Dark around much faster and sort of make up a little bit for lost time. That's the hope at the very least. Once John is finished with the artwork for Howling Dark, he's going to be doing the new cover for the Lesser Devil, because we're going to remaster that the same way we remastered Queen of Mid-Ashes. That'll probably happen at the end of the year. If not, it may even be early next, depending on how long it takes to finish Howling Dark. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, we've got new art for novellas. We're working on new art for short story collections. And if you are a patron over on Patreon, there will be a bit of an overhaul coming over there very, very soon. Some stuff I'm very excited about. Some stuff I think people have wanted for a long time, even if they didn't know this is how they wanted it. And so do check that out. Link is always in the description. We'll have more coming as early, I believe, as next month. So lots of stuff we're working on over here. And I cannot wait to start showing this stuff to you as things are coming together. I have not been idle, far from it. I've managed to get basically half of this giant to-do list over here crossed off just in the last couple of weeks. And now I'm able, like I said, to really refocus my attention where it belongs, which is on book 7, which, God willing, will be done by the end of this year and be in the hands of my editors back at DAW. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, farewell.